After checking out the checklist, Kalcion gets nervous to see that he will now have to kiss Selena every day to make his acting better than it is right now. Selena thinks that it will be embarrassing if they call it a real kiss since it is nothing but a peck on the cheek. They will just need to make it formidable so people can believe that they are just a couple who sleep together, and it might look suspicious if he keeps on freezing every time she touches him. While holding his face, she thinks that she should kiss him all over the face like yesterday so he will get used to the physical touches and feel used to it. Just then when she keeps silent, Kalcion gets even more nervous and she herself thinks that she cannot do anything in this situation since she is kind of conscious right now. She then states that they can do it the next time as she is feeling kind of nervous on her own, but he ends up making it happen anyways. Then while getting her face all red, Selena claims that he has done good and he is better at this right now, which ends their kissing practice session. In the morning while she is about to go out, the maid makes sure that she knows about what she is doing and Selena thinks that going out is fair for her since she didn't do anything wrong in the first place. She thinks that she was about to be considerate of the fact that the family members had died, but she now thinks otherwise. She thinks that she cannot keep on acting like it is all fair and money when it comes to dead Ariel, then she cannot do it anyhow. She thinks that it will be more fair for her to find the truth behind the death rather than acting considerate with the old man. She remarks in front of the man that she came to see what was going on, and the man remarks that she can take her time to do so. The old man claims that he is thankful for her kindness and reminds that everything will be over soon enough as soon as they move the furniture and everything along with it. Selena prioritizes that he shouldn't be feeling uncomfortable because of her, and he thinks that there is no reason for him to be uncomfortable. When he doesn't understand the reason behind her reckoning, she remarks that it is because she had already taken the place of his daughter, so it is only fair for him to be uncomfortable. He thinks that there will be no use in lamenting the place of his dead daughter as it would barely change anything. She argues that it is a problem of emotions and not places, and since emotions cannot be calculated, she thinks that her point is valid to begin with. But at that moment, he still doesn't understand what she wants to hear from him, and he dares to ask if she is telling him to remind himself of his daughter, and cry after holding on to her, saying that she reminds him of his daughter so she will feel quite at ease. He even brings up her giving a share of the money, and Selena claims that he must have been sad because of what happened to his daughter, and is kind of surprised after seeing his reaction. Then he remarks that he should have been sad because the amount of money he would have been having right now is insufferable if his daughter didn't try to hold on to the things she couldn't chew and out of her abilities while cursing on her name. All he keeps on speaking about is money, and after hearing them, Selena feels rather disturbed and claims that she will have to move on. Then he remarks that he wants her to listen to him for a piece of advice, and he claims that she should know her place in the beginning rather than suffering later, because it is the only thing that destroyed his own daughter. She thanks the old man for his advice and starts asking Kalcion what he is looking at as he is holding onto a piece of paper. It seems that he is handling the ball invitations on her behalf, and she thinks that it would have been normal if she didn't even get a single one, as she looks rather uncanny. The remarks that she had met Baron Xion, and it made her feel weird that even though his daughter had died, all he cares about is the money he is losing. Kalcion thinks that it is the real meaning behind the high society, and it shouldn't be something unnatural, but Selena thinks that it is quite absurd to begin with. Kalcion thinks that there are some people who care about their children dearly, but normally, most of the people think of their children as tools. At this point, she realizes that even Kalcion must have some of these traits like these people. In a world where nobody really cares about someone's death, she thinks that even if she dies, Kalcion will not be sad and confronts him about it, and the more he imagines about it, the more it shocks him. Selena thinks that it would have been fine for him, since even when she got attacked in the first time in her life, he didn't even bat an eye for her while fearing for her life. He claims that at that moment, he was so furious that his whole mind was kind of blank for a while, and as he is about to explain more of the situation, Dion comes in to say that he has something to inform him about. He remarks that they have already finished tracking down the maid named Juna and her fellow as Kalcion has ordered, and now they even know which family she really belongs to. Selena nervously starts asking him about the family that she belongs to, and Dion remarks that she is from the family of Count Heiss. While Kalcion is kind of confused, Selena remarks that it is Lil's family and reminds him that it is the blue-headed woman who tried to pick a fight with her when they were with Rosaline. After hearing about the Heiss family, Selena remembers that Juna talked about this family as well in the moment she checks out the invitation from the Heiss family. She holds the letter and thinks that it is all planned out from the beginning and that it must be her time to turn doubt into concerning certainty. Then when she starts spending time with the maid, she feels that it must be weird that she is thinking about it so much, and it seems that Selena is pretty nervous about the tea party that she should be attending. She thinks that she must have to go on each one of them as all of them are quite higher ranked than her, but the problem is that most of them are on the same dates. The problem is not about the Biorel's family is in the evening, but the tea parties by the Heiss and Orlinga families are about to happen on the same day at the same time, and starts asking Juna about the formation since she knows about them more than her. Juna then remarks that she should be choosing Heiss over the other one, and it once again starts raising questions in Selena's mind, and she starts speaking badly about the daughter of the Heiss family, saying that she doubts her being a good person. Then Juna remarks that Errol said that the tea party at Heiss was very nice for her because the party happens on a large scale, and everyone can meet each other if they want because of such a huge gathering. Selena decides to thank her, saying that she will be heading in there as well, and Juna claims that she should talk to her about these things anytime since she has a good experience with the aristocratic things. When Selena claims that she will be asking Lady Jeanette about the reply for her invitation, Juna takes her farewell to Selena. Soon as Selena enters the room of Jeanette, she speaks out saying that she wanted to ask her about something, so she won't be able to damage the reputation of the Lenbird family as its guest. When Jeanette lets her to have a seat in front of her, Selena thinks that there is no way she would have refused her in the first place and sits on the chair. She even thinks that her skills for embroidering must be quite impressive for Jeanette. Selena lets her know that she has been invited to a tea party and she needs her help to prepare for it, and she will need her guidance for sure. As Jeanette begins to question her position in the letter, Selena claims that there are chances where the Duke will be invited, so Selena resists her to give up on being an ass. Jeanette claims that there is no need to play along with every single tea party that comes across, only if she goes alone. Then when she asks what will happen if she decides to go with Kalcion, Jeanette makes it a fact, saying that she will then have to play along with the environment, so she doesn't end up embarrassing herself or Kalcion. Selena remarks that she is being too pretty, and claims that it turned out to be too hard for her then. Selena remarks how people of the other side continued to give her looks while he stood on one side in the drinking party that she had to attend. Jeanette thinks that as she has already survived that and even knows about the basic characteristics of having etiquette, so she will be fine in the tea party as it is a smooth run. But in her mind, Selena knows that it could have created a huge chaos if Jeanette knew that she quarreled with Rosaline and even grabbed Fonel by the hair and dragged her away, ending it with swigging alcohol. Then she would have been furious. Selena realizes that she must not have any connections to the aristocrats there, as she doesn't know anything about what happened, meaning that she doesn't work for anyone. She thinks that she doesn't have any reason to dig any further, but it is quite remarkable that she knows something about the day when Errol died, which she hasn't about to be able to uncover for a while now. Then as she is about to move on, Jeanette gives her the best tip of her life, which is to match the color of the outfit with the color of the envelope, and it means that she really cares about Kalcion so much. Juna helps Selena to get dressed up, and Kalcion matches up with the same color of outfit with her, and when she notices that he is wearing the cloak once again, he remarks that he doesn't really need it for the occasion. Then when Kalcion makes her to get it around her body, she thinks that she is about to show off and even use it as a weapon to get as much as information needed for the situation. Kalcion remarks that she shouldn't overwork herself, and she starts to blush after seeing that he would care about her this much. Then when it comes to the part of bidding farewell, she ends up kissing him on the cheek, and she claims that it will act as a goodbye kiss, just like the time when they fall asleep, persisting that she should continue to go right now while waving at him from the carriage. Back in the carriage, she thinks that she needs to do well since she isn't about to have Kalcion around her to back up this time. She knows that she needs to do well to leave this place to reach her hometown, but she didn't know what was about to come for her at the tea party. Then when the carriage continues to move, Kalcion seems rather worried about Selena, and he knows that it is the first time she is about to head on out somewhere without him. He hopes that there will be nothing to worry about, as the half of their finest guards are escorting her to the palace, so unless the whole military decides to come and attack her, she will be fine. But the idea of her not coming back also goes through his mind, and the butler comes in to remind him that he has to go to the gymnasium, and he heads in there. Then as soon as Selena gets into the palace, she is not able to believe that all of the good seats are already taken before she arrives. She realizes that the timing must be different for all the tea parties, which is so unlike the drinking party that she attended before. She goes on to meet the host of the tea party and she ends up confirming herself that the host intentionally talked to her about the wrong timing, so she ends up making a mistake on her own end. Then the woman with her starts remarking that she is not good at dressing up appropriately, but she ends up making it remarkable this time. As soon as she brings up the fact that Lady Lyle was worried about her way of dressing, Selena remarks that Kalcion wanted to make sure that she was wearing his cloak in the end so others could not see how pretty she is. Then as soon as she finishes her sentence, Lyle looks at her with narrow eyes, having a bitter taste of her words which she wasn't expecting to hear. Then Selena goes on to take her seat as they have had their fair share of introductions, and Selena notices that people are hesitating to even react with her right now as she has already mentioned Kalcion in the sentence. She thinks that it must be satisfying and annoying at the same time, and Selena realizes that this place must be quite beautiful to be in here. She is kind of sad that instead of being in awe because of the beauty, all they do is badmouth and gossip about each other. As the ladies around her continue to gossip about each other and giggle, Selena feels like it is too boring for her taste and thinks that Lyle must be on Rosaline's side, which makes her want to leave. Others ask about her dress and even wants to take a look since the designer seems to be famous for them. And the lady is quite in awe after taking a look at the dress as the outfit is quite expensive in the first place. The lady notices that the ribbon hasn't been tied properly, and Selena gets mad at Juna for making such a mistake, and suddenly she notices that some chaos is happening around her. When she goes on to take a look inside of the room, she notices that Lyle is now shouting at her own maid for staining her clothes. At the same time, she is bickering about someone acting higher than her. Selena finds out that she is now badmouthing Rosaline, the one who is so close to her, and she bickers about how Rosaline said that she is about to be the next crown princess and changes her statement saying that she is about to be the next duchess. Stuff like that. Lyle thinks that it must be absurd because there is no need to meet the crown prince in the first place, and Selena enters the room claiming that Rosaline must be glad if she gets to hear something like this, and it scares the hell out of Lyle. Then as Lyle starts to stutter after seeing her, Selena remarks that she was about to enter the bathroom and ends up hearing that she is bad-mouthing about Rosaline, so she decides to stop and asks her if she can take a seat. As darkness and the momentary continues to reign, Selena thinks that it will be the perfect time for them to have a conversation right now. Then as Selena wants to engage into a conversation, Lyle claims that there must be nothing to talk about, and Selena reminds her that she was just talking about Rosaline a bit ago, so they can talk about that right now. Selena remarks that she thought that they would have been good friends, but now she can see that she is gossiping about Rosaline behind her back. Lyle claims that it must be normal for someone to be upset once in a while from time to time, and Selena presses that if that is understandable, then Rosaline will understand as well as her. Then she remarks that she would also tell her that she was calling her names, but Lyle gets nervous saying that she surely didn't go that far. Then Lyle ends up saying that they do not like each other for no reason, and that they are only cooperating from time to time for their own selfish reasons. Then Lyle continues to explain the situation and explains that there was no way she was about to badmouth her out of nowhere, which is truly not her intention at all. Selena thinks that she must be trying to talk her way out of the situation and knows it well, and Selena wants to know if she had to attack her out of nowhere to please Rosaline. Not only that, but also, she wanted to invite Selena to only set up and harass for the time being, because it was about to please Rosaline, just because Rosaline wanted it that way. Lyle remarks that she is right and Rosaline is the one behind all of this, and she even wanted to be her friend in the first place, while having no reason to pick on her in the first place. But Selena wants to know then why she would have been asked to do these things out of nowhere and tries to make sense out of it all. Then when it comes to the matter of impressing Rosaline, Lyle continues to have a tough time answering the question, and Selena points out that if they are friends, they must have to talk about something like this for sure. Lyle realizes that she is in a sticky situation as now she cannot get out of her trap, and Lyle starts to wonder what she should do, as there is a huge chance that Selena will end up saying it all to Rosaline once they are done. Then Lyle remarks that it was all needed for the guild with a distribution network, which can distribute their family's jewelry belonging to the Marquis of Thiolan. And as their business is at stake, she didn't have anything better to do with the situation. Selena asks her if that will need her to praise Rosaline for her whole life, and Lyle remarks that it is surely not the case for sure. And as soon as the amount of limiting in the Lenbird mine gets confirmed, her family will soon be in its proper glory while the Lenbird is still holding the key, according to Selena. Selena remarks that in that way she will surely have to be a friend of hers, adding that There is a way she could help her to get the help of Kalcion, who will then help her to rise. Selena proposes that there might be some way if she ends up sending a letter to Kalcion, and if it ends up getting delivered by Selena, there is no way to doubt that he wouldn't consider the matter more seriously. Then at the same time, Lyle wonders if she even knows how much money she is talking about, as there is no way Kalcion would ever listen to his concubine whom he doesn't even care about much. Selena even gives her a pen and paper to Lyle, saying that she can instantly start writing the letter if she can talk about the details in person, and she only has to talk about being friends with Selena and whatnot to fill up the details on the letter. Lyle wonders how come she is so well prepared in the first place and now she has no way to say no to her. Lyle then thinks that she is only giving her more weakness she would use against her toward Rosaline, and thinks of fighting physically since she cannot let her leave like this. But suddenly, Selena comes in to grab her hand and reminds her that she is stronger than she looks, and Lyle gets mad when she keeps smirking at her, saying that she is about to take care of their friendship. As the main work is done, Selena knows that she now only needs to take care of the matter regarding finding Rosaline and the Crown Prince, and ends up finding them under a tree soon enough. Selena is surprised to see that she is so obedient to the Crown Prince, and as the Crown Prince wants her to do more about the consideration since she is doing well, she blushes on her own. Then when they finally hug, Selena realizes that it is not obedience but love, and they think of going back at the tea party. Then when Rosaline is gone, the Crown Prince starts calling her the bird of the Duke, and she wonders how he managed to see her from that far. As she remarks that he must be quite close to Rosaline, he claims that it is only normal since he has been seeing her since they were kids. Selena claims that it was noticeable that they were close and affectionate to each other, and she thinks that he can come up with better lies than that. Then Selena remembers Rosaline saying she almost became the Crown Princess, and now she thinks that the Crown Prince must not be interested in her at all. Then the Crown Prince remarks that even though he came to see Rosaline, but ended up meeting her, which must be like fate is turning them to meet again and again. Selena goes into the defensive mode and claims that it must be a bad intention of someone then, which doesn't end up stopping the Crown Prince from bragging that they are surely coincidental and asking if she cannot be genuinely happy. Selena then claims that there is no reason for her to do something like that because she belongs to the Duke anyways, and there is no way he would like Kalcion. The Crown Prince then states that if she can guess that so fast, then she must be quite genius in the first place. But there is no way he thinks that the relationships between people can be calculated, and there are times when people tend to make mistakes to make a fool of themselves. Then the Crown Prince ends up shocking her by saying that he cannot help but get butterflies in his stomach no matter how many times he meets her. Speechless, Selena tries to make sense of the things that he is saying, and hesitates, saying that he cannot be allowed to feel something like that. But he insists that and claims she is just so beautiful that he cannot help but get close to her, so it is not his fault after all. Selena persists, claiming that he should refrain from doing something like that, as she is already in a relationship with Kalcion, and the Crown Prince continues to explain how she is not married to him or has a future with Kalcion. Selena realizes that the man is being kind of desperate in front of her, and all of a sudden, Kalcion comes hugging her, adding that maybe they will, and Selena is more surprised than ever. An hour ago, when Kalcion said goodbye to Selena in front of the carriage, he remembered that she had 3 escorts and even 15 guards moving in stealth, and even 5 special forces for extra security, and what matters the most is that all of them are finest in the Lenbird Kingdom. When the butler comes in to remind him about the gymnasium, he thinks that he must stop worrying about it since there is nothing to worry about. But when he engages in fencing with his men, he realizes that there is no way he would be able to stop worrying about it, and even his men notices that he is kind of distressing about something. As nervous Kalcion continues to engage more force in the practice, he reminds himself that Selena gets attacked even when he is around her, and then there will be something bad happening to her if he is not around him anymore. He thinks that she must be in danger, and when he starts going away after throwing away his sword, the soldier keeps on asking him where he is even going right now. He remarks that something might have happened to Selena, and the soldier is kind of dumbfounded at what might have happened all of a sudden to her. The soldier states that she is currently at the tea party, and Kalcion starts marking out the worst possible outcomes in the history of Lenbird, and even cracks on his own while rushing toward the exit so he can reach her as soon as possible. Dion doesn't even realize that he ended up encouraging Kalcion in the end, and in the present, Kalcion is really in front of the Crown Prince, accompanying Selena. He holds onto her and claims that he was only being careful in the relationship. But if she continues to worry, he is ready to provide more assurance if needed from him. Both the Crown Prince and Kalcion then engage in a fiery conversation, and Kalcion remarks that he is kind of possessive of his people, so he should have to understand that. As Kalcion keeps arguing back with the Crown Prince, Selena wonders who ended up teaching him about acting anyway, that he is such a good actor right now. The Crown Prince mocks him, saying that it will be quite unfair for her, as she is not his property after all. The prince acts like a white knight, adding that she must be free to talk to him and should be allowed to follow her heart as well. When he dares him to loosen his arm, Kalcion makes sure that he won't because he doesn't want to. Then in the middle of the conversation, they keep on enraging each other, and when the prince understands that he wouldn't be fitting much for more argument, he claims that it must be enough, and he now wants to bid his farewell to Selena. Then as Kalcion remarks that he wouldn't have permission to bid his farewell, the prince suggests her to forgive his behavior as he is about to leave without bidding her farewell. When he begins saying that they need to talk about their conversation before Kalcion comes, Kalcion continues to hold on to her as if she is some sort of statue. When he finally leaves, Selena asks him to leave her as he is gone, and after being asked about his presence, he remarks that he was passing by and nothing else. Then Selena claims that he was doing great in acting, but there are moments when one has to intervene and when someone shouldn't. She even adds that if she has to know about the prince's intentions and relationships with the suspect, she will surely have to dig deeper than that. When she insists that it was going well before he came, Kalcion wants to know if she is about to stick to his side in the end, and the reaction made by him starts surprising Selena, as if he is becoming such a stupid person all of a sudden. She thinks that it must be stupid because there is no way she would take his side, while Kalcion is the only one who can send her back to her hometown. Kalcion realizes that he has forgotten about it, and she thinks that there is no way one should forget something important. Selena then adds that he didn't need to come all this way to check up on her, as he doesn't have any kind of intentions to hurt her. She thinks that she is right, as there was plenty of chances when she was alone with Lyle and with him, and she thinks that there must be a reason why he continues to approach her and acts like she is his crush. She wonders what she will do if he truly has a crush on her, and when she talks about the duel, Kalcion thinks that he will at least have a legal reason to finish him off. She then confirms that Rosaline is the one controlling Lyle, and there is something going on between her and the Crown Prince. Kalcion thinks that the prince doesn't care about Rosaline at all, and Kalcion thinks that it can be verifiable because he is not supposed to have a heart for anyone else but him. Selena thinks that his opinion cannot be taken into account this time, and Kalcion suggests that she shouldn't take it seriously that he is falling for her. Selena cannot help but wonder how Kalcion is like that toward the prince, while he is the one who barely caused any harm to her, meaning that Kalcion must hate the prince badly. Then at Royal's tea party, Selena finds that she was invited alone, but Kalcion is clinging on to her while the others continue to talk about them. Other ladies around Selena and Kalcion continue to gush over them seeing together, and some of them even remark how Selena was the only one invited. But both of them came together. Selena nervously claims that he must have been wondering about the kind of gathering she was about to attend, and he will be leaving soon enough anyways. When Selena pinches him to make him answer, he continues to keep silent even though she wants him to say that he is about to leave soon. The ladies remark that he must not want to leave yet, and they think that Selena must lean a lot to him, and they are glad to meet her for the first time. She even adds that she had been wanting to see them together after the last time she met them at the drinking party, praising her skills to drink once in a while in a great load. Selena even adds that she hated it that she was unable to even communicate with her so much as she was knocked out very early at the night. Selena gets told that she is considered as a goddess to all of them, as if she is the female version of Dionysus, which makes her feel like she is proud that they are all thinking about her that much. Soon all of the women come together and Selena starts cheering for all of them while holding her wine glass in her hand. Instead of letting her to drink her share, Kalcion ends up gulping down her glass almost instantly, leaving her surprised as she wasn't expecting to see him like this. Everyone is surprised, and even Selena starts to wonder what is happening. Kalcion starts speaking, saying that Lenbert has enemies everywhere, which is why he had to drink first to check out the poison, and he thinks that he will be fine as he has immunity against poison. A darkness looms over the whole interior, and just when Selena tries to enlighten the place, the bunch of ladies continue to find themselves in awe after seeing the bonding between Selena and Kalcion. Then they even brag that they will toast with him instead of her, and Selena finds herself to be in relief after seeing that the ladies are taking the incident quite lightly. She feels better after seeing that all of the ladies are so easygoing, and they even see her as Kalcion's woman and someone who they all want to be friends with. She thinks that she likes it here a lot, and some ladies even start puking after drinking too much at the moment. The lady claims that it is an honor for them that Kalcion was able to join them at such a party, and gets the fact that he was surely worried about Selena. Selena hopes that our guy is about to answer it to her well, and Kalcion remarks that he was reluctant to leave Selena alone at a party that both involved men and alcohol, so he was surely worried. Selena notices that he has already improved a lot, and when he even brags about her beauty which made him come, Selena starts to lose her shit as she wasn't expecting him to say something like this. When she is acting surprised, the lady questions her for it as she must be hearing it every day, and she adds that there was no possibility that he would be willing to say it in front of others in any way, so she is surprised for that reason. She instantly goes to the ladies' room, and Kalcion comes up to her saying that she will be accompanied by him if she has to go. Then as Kalcion reminds her of the event, how she ends up running into the crown prince, and someone behind claims that Kalcion should let her have to check out the washroom alone, introducing herself as the Count of Orleans. Selena realizes that the formed Count of Orleans passed on his title to her, and not to his sons, as she also fought on the battlefield. Kalcion thinks of weapons on her, and she adds that she is able to hide one weapon anywhere since she is nothing but a knight in the first place, and makes sure that he doesn't doubt her skills. Then when Selena takes the Count in her arms, Kalcion stands alone as if he is flabbergasted to see what has transpired in front of him. When they are finally in the ladies' room, she expresses that she has never seen him like this, and the Count claims that she is quite surprised to see her this way as well, since she used to think that the Duke's woman must be someone who is full of venom. The Count's words start to feel weird to her, and the Count remarks that she just meant cute and nothing else. Selena understands that the people tend to have some grudge against her, and some even continue to hate her even though they have never met her. Suddenly, the Count ends up asking her if she would consider seeing someone else, surprising Selena as she doesn't understand what she intends to mean. The Count adds that even though Kalcion might be changed right now, considering his past, there is no guarantee that he will not be changing his mind. She also adds that it would be quite painful for her not to see ever again, which is what she was trying to mean in the first place. Selena laughs and asks if she is too good for him in her perspective, and claims that she must be too hard while judging Kalcion, which is not like that at all. The Count thinks that she must not misunderstand what she wants to mean, as she doesn't get to meet people like them regularly. And Selena has already realized that she wanted to mean that someone like Selena would get kicked by the Duke sooner or later. She ends up saying that they have to return as Kalcion is waiting, and thinks of showing everyone while she is here right now. On the other hand, Kalcion has the grimmest reaction while waiting for her, and even the lady is having a hard time dealing with him as he keeps on asking weird questions to her. When he starts lecturing her about the security of the palace, she thinks that she never realized that he would have been so obnoxious, as if he might be the most impatient man she has ever seen in her life. Then as Selena comes in, the lady sighs in relief, and Selena thinks that he must be bored out of his mind, which is why he is having this kind of reaction. As soon as she stands, she calls Kalcion honey and asks him to bring some glasses of drinks, as the one that she has in front of her is already ruined. After thinking about what she has said to him, he decides to do it, and the lady who was listening to Kalcion this whole time thinks it must be quite surprising that he has changed his demeanor all of a sudden only because of her. Selena instantly changes her mind and says that she doesn't want to have a drink, and asks him to pour a glass of water. But instead of saying anything to her, Kalcion pours her a glass of water and even has the patience to ask how many ice cubes she wants. When he sits down, Selena leans on his shoulder, saying that they might think about their relationship to be temporary, and it makes her quite curious, which makes her want to know how far he is able to go for her. As Selena claims that she wants to have one of the stars, Kalcion thinks that it will be possible if he knows a way to get it first. Feeling that he made up a good answer, she asks him to get her one of the flowers that is high above in one of the trees. And Kalcion comes back after plucking the flower for her, adding that picking the clouds will take some time, which will have to make her wait. The next morning, when the maid shows all of the letters in front of her, they realize that she is already getting popular, and Selena thinks that she will have to take a break as she is tired. Selena suggests Juna take care of the letters as she is about to do some exercise with Kalcion, and Juna is worried that she won't be able to find any personal letters among all of these invitations, as she doesn't even know how to read. Juna is also mad at Lyle since she was caught by Selena, and then as she begins to look for the Heiss family's pattern, and ends up finding it, thinking that Lyle will pay her some extra, but Selena comes in to bust her and demands the letter back to her as soon as possible. After realizing that she is already caught, Juna starts asking Selena for forgiveness and claims that she had been curious about the invitations as they are quite pretty, so she ended up taking a look. Then Selena claims that there will be no use in explaining the situation to her since she knows the pattern of the letter, but Juna resists, that it is the first time she has seen the pattern in her whole life. Then when Selena brings up the coat of arms of the family she used to work for, Juna gets instantly nervous, and as she continues to fluster, Selena knows that she must be right after all since Juna is getting worse. When Selena shows her the letter and asks her if she knows what it is, she claims that she doesn't know, and Selena adds that it is a personal letter from Lyle to Kalcion, meaning that it is different from all these invitations that can be thrown away anywhere. Selena could already feel like what Lyle was trying to do, as if pretending that the letter was lost was the best solution for her to hold on to, and thought that is why Juna was told to steal the letter, so Selena wouldn't get a grasp on the letter that she wrote in front of her. Then when Selena reminds her that she intentionally intercepted into something that was for Kalcion, Juna starts to stutter as soon as she hears it, adding that she wasn't doing it intentionally. Then when Selena suggests the idea that she was only told to find the letter since it could have been held against Lyle, Juna ends up saying the truth in front of Selena, which makes her admit that she is surely a spy. Selena suggests that she should not get shocked as she has known this information for a long time already, and thinks that the whole time Juna was the one messing up with her everything, even with her dress, to get her embarrassed in front of everyone. When Juna is having a tough time coping with the evidence provided in front of her, Selena adds that she knows what she will say because she did what she was supposed to do, which was relayed by Lyle, as there is no reason why she would have incriminated Errol and put her into a corner unless she is someone who hurts people however she wants to get her pleasure. When she claims that Lyle made her do it, Selena questions her back as she wants to know what she was told in the first place. As Juna seems that she is not about to talk, so she starts uttering how she knows about the fact that she even stole Lyle's jewels when she was working as a maid and even went into debt at the same time. But now that she is her spy, she is getting paid money to barely cover the monthly interests, and it makes Juna wonder how Selena knows all of this information. Selena makes it reflect that she is Lyle's slave for life, and there is no way she would have been left alone by the creditors, and Lyle then again claims that she doesn't know anything, as she was to advise which tea parties she should go to and what kind of dresses she should wear in the first place. Selena realizes that Juna doesn't get how serious the issue is and states that she would like to resolve the situation as soon as possible and as peacefully as possible while she grabs on her shoulder. Selena also threatens her by reminding her that Kalcion will be always standing in the next line if the situation is not resolved with her, while smiling, and the mere image of Kalcion starts making her feel like she is about to lose her damn mind. Then after a while, Juna claims that everything that she said is true, but she doesn't know why they asked her to do it. Selena thinks that she is not lying anymore, so she asks her what she is told to do next. Juna speaks honestly and claims that she was supposed to take Selena to the hunting competition where she would meet every kind of man at the event. And Selena is really surprised that even though there is no formal invitation, the maids know about them already. Juna does the same with Ariel, and then she ends up revealing that the one who made Ariel so promiscuously was Juna in the first place, and even badmouth her as well. But Juna remarks that if Ariel was any better, she should have been careful, as she was about to be the Duchess in the future, and she continued to fall for everyone who continued to act nicely toward her. But Selena knows how it would have felt for someone like Ariel, and she herself starts cussing at Juna as she is quite furious at her for helplessly owning down Ariel, who was constantly feeling pressured by everything. She demands to know how could even she be able to act so cruelly to her while she only had her. As Juna asks for forgiveness, Selena remarks that she is the one who was asking for her death, and now she wants to do the same once again. Juna starts sobbing, saying that they would be finishing her off if she even dared to do otherwise, avoiding the instructions that were given to her. While she sobs, Selena gives the letter back to her, saying that she would have to act like a double agent from this time onwards, and remarks that Lyle is not someone who would look after a useless maid, so she will be the one to decide which side she will be on from now on, remarking that she wasn't the one who was involved in someone else's death. Soon enough, the news of the Crown Prince holding a hunting competition starts rolling in, and both Selena and Kalcion begin talking about it. He claims that the reason why he was always unable to prepare for a competition was because they would always get attacked by monsters or avalanches. Selena knows why he doesn't want to participate and thinks that he should get better excuses already, but she thinks that he should at least try to go once since he is the Duke. Even though Kalcion doesn't want himself to imagine standing beside the Crown Prince while holding a weapon, Selena thinks that he has to go this time, as if there are chances that he is after her. Kalcion thinks that preparing for the competition will be problematic, as aside from political views, the risk of getting into an accident is higher, but she adds that he will be there to protect her. Then he claims that even though he will be for her, she will be left alone while he goes on. He thinks that it will be risky for her even though the others will be with her, as the attacks can happen anywhere. Selena backs up her comments saying that she should have practiced archery while doing her swordsmanship training, so she should have been able to go with him instead. Then Kalcion gets the idea of her learning it, and she claims that she knows some of it, which was the part of being an actress. Soon when Selena starts practicing, all of the soldiers continue to praise her for making a bullseye on the first try. When Kalcion notices, he suggests she should check out the reason why they are so amazed, because they are quite shitty on their own even though they are elite soldiers. When the others claim that they want her to be their teacher, Kalcion moves them away as they are haggling all of a sudden. She thinks that all of them are quite passionate and suggests they should get a bunch of arrows, which they start obeying. She feels good about the event the next day, as the hunting competition is about to start the next day. While walking in the middle of the crowd, Kalcion feels embarrassed as he notices that the dress code is quite different than what he thought it would be. But Selena thinks that it is normal for him to have this perspective that everything would have been quite different while he was going up at Lenberd. Suddenly, as they notice that the crown prince is greeting them, he greets Selena, adding that it is nice to see her, and even winks at her. He starts mocking Kalcion for the fact that he ended up making it to the event, since all the other time monsters would come across the mountain range, or there would have been avalanches, but there is nothing happening right now. Selena feels like the crown prince is eager to clash against Kalcion for no reason, and the prince starts asking her if she is interested to go on a hunt. She claims that she just wanted to dress up for the hunt and nothing else, which makes the prince feel like it must be a huge bummer in the end. He also adds that he was thinking of riding and hunting with her, but as there is a risk of security and safety, he wouldn't be able to do so. After wishing that Selena will have a good time in the competition, he bids his farewell and moves on after winking at her once again. Selena realizes that he is expecting something, but she cannot get a clear grasp on it no matter what, as if he is unintentionally using or playing a part of the plan. Then Kalcion asks her if she still thinks that he is sincere in the end of the line, and both of them kind of have similar perspective about his behavior. Soon, she realizes that the prince has a lot of effect on Kalcion as he starts acting more close to her. She even starts to get nervous, assuming that he must be better than before, including his looks of course, and thinks that he is about to kiss, but he ends up moving away. She thinks that no matter how much she acted in the romance genre in her world, it was never like this, as she starts feeling embarrassed about it. When she thinks that he is going too overboard, he assumes that it is normal as it is a hunting competition, and thinks that it is not that bad for him to express his feelings for her. When he thinks that he is not unable to prove something in front of everyone, he holds her hand to kiss, which makes Selena feel like she is kind of scared right now, as if he is not in the right mind. She asks him if they are able to greet people while being in the competition, and ends up meeting Lyle in the middle and calls her out. She doesn't understand why Lyle is kind of avoiding her, and assumes that she thinks that there is nothing to worry about as she got hold of Juna in the first place. Then when she brings up the matter of the letter, Lyle gets startled, and the moment her doubts start to clear, she wonders if Juna really stole the letter or not. But Selena kind of moves away from the idea that she confronted Juna, and Lyle continues to stutter the whole time. Lyle understands that something is going on, and now she feels worse that she had been trying to appoint a new spy, but she has been failing for quite some time for a while. She starts to sense through the acts of Selena as she is acting too nice towards her, and feels like she is now uncertain of everything. She thinks that if Juna is taken captive, then it will create a bigger problem for her, and calls Liana and orders that they should try to reach Juna, and if they end up failing, they must target to finish her off if possible. Selena expresses her concerns to Kalcion, and when he thinks that there is a possibility that she would end up being friends with Lyle, Selena gets skeptical about it, as there is no such possibility. Then in front of them, a huge crowd ensues, and it seems to be the announcement for the archery competition. As every lady is participating, Selena wonders if she should be the one adding up with them or not. Then Kalcion comes in saying that she must win for sure, and she remarks that as she always wins, in this case, she will win once again. Fonel reacts after seeing Selena, and her formation and characteristics change after seeing that a lot of men are supporting her from the audience side. Selena makes her feel irritated as she pokes her about the fact that everyone cheers for her except for Kalcion. Then Selena starts looking for Rosaline even though she was with her a bit ago, and then she notices that she has been practicing for a while with her bows and arrows. After taking a look at Rosaline, Selena thinks that it must be quite bad that someone as beautiful as her has such a shitty personality, and Selena's remarks make Rosaline frown in the nastiest way possible. Selena realizes that Rosaline really has a crush on the prince, even though she doesn't know about the prince's feelings for her. Soon the ladies are told that each player will take one shot and rotate 3 times, and the one who will score the most will be the winner. Selena then mocks Fonel, saying that she will bet on her blue diamond necklace that her arrows wouldn't be anywhere near the target, and Fonel remarks that she will make her regret her words for sure. As soon as she takes a shot, it doesn't hit anywhere near the target as Selena said. And the moment Rosaline hits the target, it hits the middle, letting her get straight up 10 points at once. Selena thinks that she needs to do her best, as there is a chance that everyone else is at their best for sure, even though Fonel must have been the only standard one in the group, while Princess Jiriel cannot even draw a bowstring. When she asks Jiriel about it, she holds her tears and says that her mother wanted her to be a strong woman, which is why she is here. Selena realizes that she is too adorable for the others and has a long way to go, and suggests she should watch and learn after. Checking her out, when she takes a turn, it ends up hitting the bullseye, which was quite flawless, and Jiriel is quite impressed by the shot that she had taken. Then when she remarks that Jiriel will have the best teacher by having her, Jiriel starts to melt and asks her to be the teacher, and it gets her a chance to poke her by mentioning Kalcion. Rosaline and Selena end up tying with each other, and in the next turn, Rosaline ends up making a .9 move. Then when it comes to the turn of Selena, she once again presses for another bullseye, making her the victor. The old woman announcing the winner gets her the prize that she deserves, which is a relic of her deceased husband. Kalcion comes in to congratulate her and asks her what he is about to do with it, and she ends up giving it to the prince even though he was wishing that he would be the one to get it. She claims that the reason why she never got to thank him is the reason why she wants him to have the prize to repay the kindness that he showed to her. Even so, he thinks that she doesn't have to do this at all, and Selena remarks that as a way of showing affection, she needed to do it in the hunting competition. As she makes an adorable face asking if he is about to accept it, she claims that he will surely accept it, as there is no way he would refuse such a precious thing. She thinks of putting it onto her sword, and the prince calls her ability to own such a competition, remarking as a bravery. He claims that they could later check out her talent at the palace the next time, since the royal assessments have ways to test the talents of individuals, and Selena thinks that it will be okay to do that then. The prince even adds that he is about to send an invitation so she will be allowed to come whenever she wants, and starts to wonder what might be behind the reasons for his excitement. She knows that she will know once she gets to face it, and thanks for saying that he will invite her. Then when Rosaline sees Selena with him, she moves away, and she can see why she has been trying to be the Duchess of Lenbird while assuming that he wanted her to control Lenbird as a key point to the frame. Selena wonders how is he even able to do something like that to someone who loves him, and Kalcion comes in asking her if she really had to do that in front of her. Even though he seems rather sad or distressed, she presses that it wasn't even that great in the first place, and ends up embracing her hands around him and claims that she wanted to see how Rosaline would react to her actions. She realizes that he still isn't over with it, and as soon as the track and play begins, she decides that she will be the one to participate, as she will be getting Kalcion something. He ends up getting a ring for him from the prize section, which ends up being too small for him, and he takes it anyway, and it ends up fitting to the smallest finger when he takes off his glove. Kalcion thinks that he shouldn't go on to participate in the hunting competition because he has shown enough loyalty by just showing up, so there is no need for him to do anything else. He remarks that no matter what, there is a possibility that it will get risky for her no matter what, and Selena thinks that she will be fine with the guards guarding her. A tiny engulfing lustful scene ends up creating between them when she enters the tent without asking for his permission, and she even helps him to get his clothes on him, all while making him wear the clothes. She continues to look at every part of his body and then finishes it by checking out his face in the end. When she praises him for looking good with his armor, he thanks her for saying something good like this to him, and she feels like he is overreacting once again. They start making their journey as everyone is waiting for the competition to start, and the moment she begins processing her thoughts, she meets the prince, who once again calls her to him. He even asks her to give him a name, hoping that she will wish him luck, and realizes that he is the one interrupting her to take care of the matter with Kalcion first. She obeys the command and kisses his forehead to do so, which makes him utter that he will bring the most beautiful creature for her and bids his farewell to her. Everyone starts whispering badly about her and thinks that it must be Rosaline once again. And Kalcion comes asking if she is about to wish him or not while having a huge murdering intent in his eyes. When she wishes him good luck, he looks rather distressed and gives him more kisses to make him feel better and even ends up making out with him in the end to give him some peace of mind. Then when Kalcion gets the chance, he does the same while taking his best chance, which begins a murmur in the crowd as they are all embarrassed by the scene happening in front of them. When she suggests that he should take it easy for her, he thinks that there is no way it is happening since she worked hard to bring him a nice ring. As they bid their farewell to each other, Count Orleans comes to meet her and she adds that she decided not to participate since she is still hungover because of the alcoholic party they had that evening. They both soon decide to have some fun by arrowing with each other, and when she notices that Selena is good at it, she tries to hide the fact that trained with Kalcion a lot to perfect herself. Then the Count thinks that it must be kind of weird for Kalcion to do so, and it makes Selena to ask her about what kind of person he had been all this time. She remarks that she had been hurting a lot of people's feelings for a long time, and curious, Selena asks her about Ariel as well as she was the one who was almost married to him. The Count thinks that she is a bit delicate and fragile compared to her, and some even speak of her as a fool who can't talk to anyone about her own feelings. When she gets on with verifying the character of her, the Count thinks that there is no word to process the truth in the socialite world, but she heard that Ariel was someone who would lean on to someone who was kind to her in a way. After hearing the Count, Selena feels like she now knows what of gossip Juna would really focus on all the time, and Selena is now sure that if Kalcion was going along with her, she would have had the whole thing differently. Just the moment the Count advises her that she should be careful around the prince, all of a sudden something surprising happens. As soon as some arrow winds close to the border of her earlobes, the Count falls down on the ground as if someone has targeted her or the Count. Instantly, the Count's body falls down on the ground lifeless, assuming that she must be dead. Selena starts waking up the body of the Count and everyone rushes in that direction to check up on her, and Selena tries her best to keep her calm. Then when she gets moved away from the location, one of the knights claims that someone might have misused their arrow in the wrong direction while the competition is running in the forest, or maybe someone was targeting someone. Even though she tries her best to check up on the Count, she doesn't get allowed to check up on her since no visitors are now allowed around the area. Soon enough, Kalcion comes in asking if she is alright as he hears of the assassination attempt, and she suddenly feels a huge bump in her chest as she keeps on remembering the lifeless body of the Count. They think of taking a walk, and Kalcion claims that he can carry her for sure. As soon as she meets the doctor, he claims that the arrow missed the vital points, so she will be fine for now. Then the prince comes in to have a conversation with her and suggests that she should be careful in the competitions as something always happens. But this whole time, Selena feels like he is acting unnatural about the whole scenario, and he claims that he has caught the most beautiful creature for her, so he will show it to her the next time they meet. Kalcion makes sure that there was an attempt indeed, and the culprit even took his own life and claims that the type of suicide the culprit had in the same way as the incident before for Selena. When it comes to the topic of something important, she remembers that they have been talking about the prince for a while even though it wasn't that important. As soon as they get back, she starts asking about Juna, and it feels unreasonable for her to see that Juna didn't come out even though they came to the entrance. Then the moment she goes on to check on her own, the maids claim that they haven't seen her for a few hours for a while. Selena starts to feel bad after seeing what happened to the Count, and now the matter with Juna keeps taking a heavy toll on her. And as soon as Jeanette comes in to check out what happened, she gets enraged that Selena is blaming it all on the management. Then when she brings up the matter of Juna spying on them, Jeanette gets nervous and Selena keeps on throwing it all on her, as even though she keeps obsessing over Kalcion, she does nothing that provides value in the first place. She throws a huge pile of blame on Jeanette, saying that avoiding the act as a mother, she should surely continue to do her task the best way possible, only to continue fidgeting in her own room. Kalcion does what he does the best and suggests that she should be able to relax for a while, and Selena begins asking him about what he thinks of Jeanette. Selena thinks that her obsession with Kalcion might be something other than just loyalty, and Kalcion brings up the fact that his father found her on the way back from his wedding in the capital, assuming that she was in trouble. She somehow never wanted to go back to her place and ended up staying as she didn't want to get back to her husband's territory. Selena finds it strange that his mother restricted her from being his personal nanny and ended up making her an exclusive maid instead. While conversing, Selena notices that there is a huge mark on his armor, and he explains that there was an attack during the competition, and even though everyone would think that it was a mistake, he knows that it was aimed toward him. She feels the reckless fear in her mind, imagining that Kalcion could have had the same fate as the Count. Then as soon as she gets unconscious, Kalcion tries to wake her up and she wakes up after a few minutes on her own. Then she realizes that her ear is hurting as it was touched by an arrow, but avoiding taking care of it, she asks Kalcion what will happen if the Crown Prince is after them. Even though she knows that she will eventually have to confront the prince, she knows that it will be like confronting a lion in front of his mouth. After Kalcion hugs her, she reminds herself that she has already done more than enough, which no one could have done. But no matter what, she thinks she cannot give up to figure out what happened. In the end, she accepts his request not to chase the danger while not caring about her life. The whole night Selena continues to shake after remembering the day, but Kalcion holds on to her, and as he holds on to her, she remembers that he is taking care of her just like the first day when someone attempted to finish her off. He remarks that he will continue to look after her while she sleeps, and starts asking him various questions about his personal life. She finds out that Kalcion has never had someone who he would call his crush or even like someone. Then her question shifts to having dirty thoughts. He thinks and remarks that there is no way he would have done it, or he would have remembered all about it in the first place. Then she comes up with the idea that he might have some thoughts about a man, which only feels like nonsense to him, and it shifts to some animals after that, in the end to an object. Kalcion claims that he didn't really have time for anything because of the hardcore training and everything, which was quite normal for someone like him going through puberty. Then as she brings up the fact about him having the ability to do stuff, because he never tried anything on her even though she is pretty to begin with. He thinks of what to answer, as every answer will continue to hurt him one way or another, and he ends up embracing her to avoid the whole conversation in the end. After thinking for a while, he ends up asking her why she would have kissed him at the hunting ground earlier, as he is quite curious about the reason. Then as she asks the question again, he remarks that he might want to do the kiss once again, which reaches a striking point in their conversation. She starts stuttering at the moment, but claims that she thought that there might be some need for something other than the blessing for the moment, which is the reason why she ended up doing it. Kalcion thinks that there might be no reason to make out for some small reason as that, and thinks that that is not the fact. They can start getting used to it right now. He thinks that it will be only fair since they are lovers, and as he continues to roll around his questions, she gets even more nervous than ever. Kalcion approaches her face, and while holding her by two of his hands, he asks if he would be allowed to kiss her once again. Even though they had some kind of nervousness for the moment, they ended up having their passionate kiss once again. Then in the morning, when Kalcion is greeted by the others, everyone starts to think that something must be wrong with him, as he seems quite distracted for a while. The soldiers assume that they might be the main problem, but Kalcion regains his sense, and all of them are thankful to see that there was nothing wrong with their existence. His close man starts asking him about what happened last night, as he seems rather distracted. In the moment he remembers what happened, he smiles on his own. On the other hand, Selena continues to remember what happened yesterday night, and thinks that it might have happened in the heat of the moment while throwing her hands and legs. When she asks them about Juna to the others, the maids tell her that there is no update about her and think that everyone must have hated her for acting like the best maid for her. Selena thinks that she might have to forget about her for a while, as they have bigger things to worry about, so she ends up putting her maid on the duty of picking up her dress and decides to stay home. She gets presented with a little too much of lavish clothes when she is asked to have something to wear, and the maid continues to praise her for her beauty, and thinks that she has found some maids who will support her no matter what. She thinks of trying them on for her favor and assumes that she might be watching her fans right now. The moment she enters the dining hall, Kalcion is flabbergasted to see her look, and he asks if she is planning to go out somewhere as she is all dressed up. She feels like he might have been reborn, as he now does the things that he didn't used to do, and Kalcion even raises his fork to make her taste something that he likes. She thinks that he used to think of him skeptically, and the moment he goes on to check up on her face as something is on her cheek, she feels like he is teasing her right now, and soon realizes that the look that he has on his face is truly pure affection and not some acting to challenge her as if he is in love with her.